It's 2 o'clock here on Friday, April 28th, last Friday of the month, and we're bringing back Neal Francis here in the Volume.com studio. How you doing today, Neal?
I'm doing great, Dan. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm going to admit I'm a little bit tired. I stayed up a little past bedtime and still got up early this morning.
Me too.
Well, you probably do it a lot out on the road.
Occupational hazard.
It is. Did you drive here, ride here, or fly here?
Yeah, I flew. I flew on an airplane.
Okay, all right. So that's a little bit easier than being on a tour bus. Or...
I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. You can sleep maybe on the tour
Jury's
bus.
out.
Jury's out. Well, we got Neal Francis back in town. He's headlining tonight out of Brooklyn Bowl, Nashville. Doors are at 6. Show starts at 8. 18 and over event. And it's going to kick off with a Nashville band we love, Luthi, who is so cool and got such an interesting show. So
Good homies.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So we're excited to see Luthi getting to be part of this show. Neal Francis here, brooklynbowl.com, nealfrancis.com. And he is here in the Volume.com studio. We're actually on Volume.com. If you want to take a look in our tiny studio, you can see what it looks like here at Lightning 100. It's kind of fun, right? You come in, you see the posters and stuff.
I had no idea I was on camera this whole time.
It just started.
I'll just stop picking my nose now then.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So Neal's hanging out with us here in Nashville, and you've made it a habit of coming to Nashville over the years. And the first time that we met you here at the radio station, you came in, we were having a pitch meeting. I'm thinking this was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like the right year?
That sounds correct.
Yeah. It was before the whole world shut down.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah, what a crazy amount of time it's been since then. I feel like it feels like a lot less time and also a lot more time.
It's an elastic time.
For sure. Well, it was fun because we would have back then we were getting just dozens of bands every week, and they come in and they pitch their songs, and not everyone's song is good enough to play on the radio. Even a good song might not be a good radio song.
Right.
But you came in and you won our hearts, and and we started playing you on the radio, and then all of a sudden the whole world started talking about you, and listeners were calling in, and you were opening up shows. Has this been a pretty fun ride these past few years?
It really has. I'm continually just taken aback by just what's been coming our way lately, and staying in that gratitude on days like today when it feels like it might be a little tired, but just so happy to be doing this.
Yeah. Well, you feel like a guy who kind of wants to do things for the right reasons and by your own principles. I think of the fact that when you came in here before, you're like, yeah, I'll do it in studio, but I want to have an analog piece of gear, right?
Yeah.
And
to my own detriment.
Well, it's still cool though, because you're doing it your way, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. I just to that point, I just like the touch of a Rhodes piano, like an analog instrument, and I just feel like I play better that way. So I'm already schlepping all my vintage keyboards around the country. It's not really that much extra work mentally for me.
Yeah. Well, that one that was in here that day was pretty special. It was Rhodes 88.
Yeah.
And
belonged to Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
This guy Jan, who like musicians around town, if you say his
Jan
name, they all know exactly who he is.
Great friend.
That's awesome. Yeah. And
some call him the mayor of Nashville.
The mayor of Music City. He's got a house. And sometimes people have shows out of it at his house.
Oh yeah, the band's staying there.
He's got like the coolest gear. Is that really happening? Right?
It's true.
That's incredible. Yeah, he had, I helped him get it in. Those Rhodes 88, it's not an easy thing. It's a heavy thing.
It is.
We had to use the elevator, which it's an old building. It's actually a dumbwaiter. You're not allowed to ride on the elevator. And we got it in here. And man, those legs, they have to be like screwed in. It's such a particular angle. And yeah, he said he got it at state sale for Marvin Gaye's attorney. How lucky is that? It's so special.
that he has his ways.
Yeah. Well, you have your ways. So like, what's have you played anything else special like that over the years, or?
Actually, very early in my life, I got to play Scott Joplin's piano, who is like, you may know him as the king of ragtime music.
Wow.
From the turn of the last century. But I was really into Scott Joplin when I was an 8-year-old, and we went down to St. Louis and visited his house, which is a museum now. And I got to play his piano, but
that's pretty incredible.
It happens from time to time. You get to touch something special like that.
It sure does. We got Neal Francis here hanging out with us in the Volume.com studio. He's in town headlining Brooklyn Bowl, Nashville. Got special guest Luthi opening the show. Of course, Luthi based out of Nashville, Tennessee. Neal Francis feels like he's based out of Nashville. He's a Chicago guy. Or are you living in Chicago these days?
I am.
Still? Yeah. I was reading that you lived in like an almost haunted church.
It was definitely haunted.
Definitely haunted. Wow.
I'd say it was close to as definitely haunted as any place I've ever lived.
Okay. And it was like a long time, and did that end up having an effect on you musically?
Absolutely. We recorded the record there. We built out a studio there. The drummer ended up living there with me for a majority of that time. And it was a huge part of the whole process, undoubtedly. Because it was also during the pandemic where we weren't on the road, and so having a roof over our head was just kind of a
blessing.
A blessing. A miracle, if you will.
A haunted roof.
Yeah. Can't choose your roof sometimes.
I'm gonna play a song or two while you're here today. And let's play the track. I think Very Fine is how you started off Sentimental Garbage. And tell us about these songs maybe and why they weren't on one record and they ended up on this record and about this record.
Well, we recorded a lot more material for In Plain Sight that then ended up getting released, and then we also did these covers for an Aquarium Drunkard feature, and so we decided, at first it was going to be a single that we were going to release with a B-side, and then we just said we have all this material. It's stuff that I want the world to hear, and so we got it together on a EP.
Well, it's great. I love it. Let's take a listen to this together. It's Neal Francis and Very Fine on Lightning 100. Lightning 100, Neal Francis.
A nice long one from Neal Francis, 213 on Lightning 100.
It was very, very fun. We got Neal Francis hanging out with us here in the Volume.com studio.